What are some weird/unexplained things that your body does that you've just had to accept? Super loud hiccups. Sounds like a small yappy dog. Generally, it's just one, not a sequence like most people. They're weird and loud. You know how in grade school, boys would cup their armpits to make sounds? Yeah, my armpits do that just by lowering my arms too quickly. No hand required. If I bend my right knee in the wrong way, something slips. Then I can't unbend it without experiencing a very strong sensation telling me not to stretch out my leg. It's strange to explain. The sensation isn't painful, it's just unpleasant. It's like my body telling me something isn't in place so I can't stretch out my leg. If I choose to stretch out my leg anyway, the odd sensation gets more severe, then something snaps back into place, which is painful and it aches for a short while after. If I don't want to stretch it out, I can massage the skin directly under my knee and that set things right in 10 minutes without me having to experience the sensation or any pain. 29yo and I've still no idea what is happening when my leg does this. If I drink a lot of water and then lay down on my back, my stomach makes a really loud gurgling noise. Sounds similar to a stomach growling when you're hungry. I'm never hungry when this happens, but previous partners have always thought I was, or thought that I have to lol, but in reality it's just all that water sloshing around down there for no apparent reason. One chin hair, always on the same spot. Twice I've gotten a wart on the same spot. And my right ankle cracks and cracks like it's double jointed. My legs get itchy when I exercise and I don't know why. I call it my unicorn hair. Since I can remember, I get this very fine, very long hair growing out of the middle of my forehead. It's so fine it's pretty much invisible, and it appears only occasionally. It can only be found by pinching my fingers across my forehead and tugging, then you can see where it's coming from. I'll pluck it out, then it'll appear again several months later. Ah, the unicorn hair. Edit. I didn't expect so many to relate to the unicorn magic lol. Unicorns unite. When I lay down to sleep at night, once I roll onto my left side I have to burp like 10 times. It's like clockwork, and only on my left side for some reason. My eyes water when I can hold my for hours and hours quite comfortably, but as soon as I walk through a bathroom door it's like the floodgates open and I have to race to the toilet. If I'm sad/crying, the middle of my left palm aches so bad. I've seen a couple potential answers on Google but don't have a definite answer as to why this might be. I pass out often. Well, I used to before I figured this out, going to share because I wish I would have learned sooner. It's vasovagal syncope. One's vagal nerve, the biggest in our body, can get pinched or triggered for myriad reasons. Mine is usually if I get too hot. Here's the trick: if you get that about to pass out feeling, if you know, lay with your knees elevated. It'll pass shortly. You can feel it pass with a kind of cold sweaty feeling. It's hard to describe, but you just know when it's okay to stand again. I used to faint so much and now I can prevent it. It's a little embarrassing to lay down in public sometimes, but less embarrassing than losing consciousness, people calling an ambulance, etc. Edit. Grammar mistake. Loud tummy noises, not from hunger but high-pitched and weird, which seem to always line up with quiet social settings. My period has never been regular, ever. My cycles vary wildly in length, ranging from 2 weeks to 8+ months long. I've been tested for all the main things that could be causing that and my doctors have always basically just been like, my heart skips a beat every now and again. No doctor has seemed concerned and no one really asks, so it must be normal. I have extra rib on the front left side and a missing rib on the back left side. So you could say my rib count is technically correct. If someone tickles me gently on the inside of my elbow, if that's how you say it, then I feel the touch there, but my tongue gets the tickle. And then also a bit of the back of the tongue and the opposite of activated elbow. Also, can I get violent hiccups? Can't make them quiet or they hurt really badly nor suppress them. It's not always when I have hiccups, just now and then. Another is my lazy eye. It happens really rarely. I must be really tired then. If I fall asleep on my back, I'm guaranteed a nightmare. I sneeze constantly and always in 3s. Have my entire life. The only reason I noticed is because anyone who spends time with me will always point it out. Edit. I feel so understood right now. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat, y'all are the best. Always shaking when anxious. I hated that, but now I'm living with it and it's getting better. Inverted that have never ever and will never see the light of day. Only one of my armpits grows hair. No idea why. Sleep paralysis sucks. I've noticed it happens more often when I'm stressed. Sometimes when I drink water it trickles into my ears. I told my doctor and he was like, it's probably fine. My one singular mustache hair, she's persistent, and I respect that. Will all of a sudden feel very nauseous, then a few seconds later I will feel like I'm going to all over wherever I happen to be. Instead of vomiting I sneeze and the nausea goes away as suddenly as it began. Usually right after eating, I suddenly will have one loud hiccup. It's not really a hiccup or burp, but it's like an expulsion of air. It's only one and only happens after I eat. A person with an anxiety disorder here, smiley face. I might feel completely chill, glad and relaxed, and my body will react as if scary is happening. Sometimes people ask me why I'm trembling, and I don't notice it myself. Mental problems are not fun. I pass out when I like 7/10 times. My husband has to be on high alert so I don't end up with a busted lip or black eye. My body fluctuates so much that I have like 20 pairs of pants that I wear depending on how my body is choosing to be on any given day. Anytime it can get nausea, it gets nausea. Altitude sickness? Nausea. Anxiety? Nausea. Any medicine ever with nausea as a side effect? Nausea. Chemotherapy? Intractable nausea. Gastro bad? Nausea. Migraine? Nausea. Pregnancy? Nausea from conception till birth. Why is that the way my body chooses to complain? Rude. Can't really say it's weird/unexplained, it could be, more so than it's just not really the type of stuff that seems to be seriously explored, but about 5 years ago I started getting what I would describe as symptoms tied to hormones, random new body hair, chin acne, night sweats, PMDD-like episodes, flow changes, brain fog, changes to my migraines, etc., but that no one seems interested in seeing if it actually does have a hormonal explanation or doing anything besides recommend birth control. Even though I'm at the magic age where it makes my blood pressure too wonky to be in any way preferable treatment. Like, it sucks because Yaz really helped a lot of that, but it feels like a band-aid and it doesn't seem quite worth hypertension. I have little to no appetite for the first 4 hours or so after I wake up, no matter what I do. Like I just can more than a few bites. But if I get in the habit of waiting too long to eat, my period stops. I also get super hungry late at night when I'm trying to sleep. Everything hurts. Every year in June/July my left canine becomes 3 mm longer and sharper than regular and it scratches my lips. But after 2 to 3 weeks later the extra part become whiter and fall down. I can't burp, uneasy face, sometimes I get shocking pain in my left pinky that subsides after about 10 seconds. I get brain freeze in my back along my spine along with the normal in your head. I also learned I have a type of synesthesia where I see the words, or subtitles, of my thoughts and when I hear myself and others speak. To expand on that, I will see 2 sets of subtitles when I'm thinking about what I want to say while saying it. My sneezes are high-pitched and squeaky. Literally always have been. I've been told I'm doing it for attention forever lol. Every 3 to 5 years my body will settle on a weight it wants to be. It doesn't matter how much exercise, what kind of exercise, or what diet I try for months, the weight will stay the same, just fluctuates up and down 5 pounds here and there around the same weight. I also have had a very healthy fruit and veggie friendly diet all my life, not a lot of junk and hardly ever eat out. Working out will build muscle and fitness, but it does not reduce for me. It goes up every time it settles on a new weight. I've worked with multiple trainers, dietitians, had my thyroid and blood work checked for everything multiple times. The only way I've ever lost weight is by actually starving myself, not dieting, for months. That's never intentional, divorce diet and no time to eat for months at a time. I'm 40 pounds heavier than I want to be, but nothing works. Very frustrating. Hot flashes, and mood swings for me. But being perfectly honest, since my hysterectomy last year I have 3 random rogue hairs that literally appear overnight that happen to be like 1.5 inches long on my chin and on my neck. And I never realized they have reappeared until I'm out in public and I just so happen to catch my reflection in some shop window or something. It's awful. The ability to get pregnant. I'm accepting it by removing it. Relieved face. I get this. Everyone says I sound like a pterodactyl. I get the single hiccup too. People always have such a reaction to it while I don't even notice I've done it. Uh-oh, you have the hiccups now. I can assure you, I do not. I've come to the understanding that single hiccups are actually just weird burps. I have never laughed harder in my life. I had a similar thing, I think, to what you're describing. It was a bucket handle tear of my medial meniscus in my knee. With that specific tear, the meniscus is torn all the way vertically. Google a picture/symptoms, and if you bend your knee too much or twist it wrong, then it can lock up. Basically, the torn meniscus piece flips into the joint space and blocks motion, so you can't bend or straighten your knee and it's stuck in one position. It also leads to swelling and tenderness. I ended up having surgery for it twice to repair the tear so it would not keep flipping into the notch and locking up. Sounds similar to yours, I think. Yes. The worst when you're in a new relationship, hahaha, mine does this too. Yes, I'm also able to experience the slosh, but only on an empty stomach. I could even produce the sloshing with just jumping up and down or making waves with my stomach muscles. I had the one chin hair. After 10 years of battle, it has given up and my chin no longer sprouts a 3 centimeters long hair overnight. I also have a single chin hair, and 2 left hairs. Same spots every time. I pluck them and they are gone, then suddenly they are 1 centimeter long out of nowhere. Like they went from pluck to 1 centimeter in 1 second. I've named mine Edgar. Yup, the chin hair. The one that is coarser and thicker than all the other hairs and magically sprouts up fully grown on my face. Ooh, I've read about this because I get the same thing. I believe it's from the sensation of blood flowing to supply your muscles, and it's like the activation of all those little ancillary capillaries that creates the itchy sensation? Not entirely sure, but the itch is real. I used to come back from runs with scratch marks all up my thighs. I have a forehead hair too. Same thing, randomly grows until I see it and pull it. Your stomach can vent better on your left, so if you have any wind trap that would probably release it. Hopefully you feel more comfortable after the burps. Same. Also when I cry a little. Sometimes even to the point of having to blow my nose. This is a weird one. I had this too when I was struggling in university, likely with depression. Whenever I got sad, my right hand's palm would ache. The doctor said it was weird, but there's not much to do about it. It's been 10 years since then and I have been diagnosed with cardiovascular issues that are hereditary. I don't experience the ache in my hand anymore, but that might be due to the meds I'm on which maintain my cardio health. Hey, might be a sign of increased anxiety, or heart rate. I'm taking this to heart because I love hot showers, but the last time I took one, 3 weeks ago, I passed out and hit the deck. My husband heard and I woke up to him holding my face and crying, asking if I was okay. I had buckled and hit my spine against the tile corner. Otherwise, I was all right. It was scary. Mine does this. Usually it stops my breathing, too, and sometimes it skips multiple beats then does one extra big beat to make up for it while I'm in air as fast as I can. All of my cardio checkups have been normal. Same. I am scared my doctor and she said it happens to everyone but not everyone can feel it. No big deal, I guess. This is so interesting. Do you kind if I asked if it has any impact on your health at all? Is it something you notice? I either sneeze once or like 26 times in a row. There is no in between. My dad has done this my whole life. I've always thought it was a hiccup, but he says it's a weird burp thing. Weirdly, it went away when he had throat cancer. Maybe because he had a feeding tube in his stomach. The first time he did it when he got better, he yelled, "I'm back, baby." I'm not sure whether this is related, but it may be. Basically, if I talk to people for about an hour 1-to-1, and I'm talking about personal stuff, I shake. Also, if I watch an action movie or something, like Hunger Games, I shake. Not my hands, my whole body shakes like I'm shivering. It's so odd and I've never understood it. I wonder if it's related to blood pressure? Sometimes when I get close, my hearing goes all funny and I feel lightheaded. I assumed it was low BP. Might be the same for you. What the French call la petite mort, smiley face. Me too. Explaining to new partner is cringe. My collection of jeans is such a nightmare to sort through. I have to try them on to find out if I can wear them today. The worst is when it's fine when I'm trying it on, but then it's too tight later. Less annoying but still annoying is when they fit perfect in the morning but then they're 2 sizes too big by the afternoon. It sounds like it could potentially be PCOS. Found the werewolf. IWHAT? How? You what? This wins the thread. What the actual? Have you gotten any answers about what this could be? You win. What they? From my own experience, if you have allergies and eat things you are allergic to, your body might store excess water. Doesn't matter how healthy your diet is. The body is so preoccupied with fighting off the allergies it can't work on anything else, so it doesn't lose weight how it's supposed to. It also doesn't really put on muscle. If you have allergies, you might want to look into that.